1993, Southgate, North London, Amy's bedroom, posters on walls, Michael Jackson, Aaliyah, Salt and Pepper. 10-year-old Amy sat on floor with best friend Juliet Ashby. Notebook open, pencils scattered, ideas flowing, problem solving, creating something new. "We need a name," Juliet said. "For what?" "For us, for our group. Can't be rap group without name." Amy considered. "What kind of name?" "Something cool, something that describes us." "We're 10. What describes 10-year-olds?" "We're different. I'm sweet. You're sour." Amy laughed. "I'm not sour." "You kind of are. In good way. Sweet and sour, like Chinese food, like contrast, like balance." "Sweet and sour?" "Sweet and sour." "That's terrible." "That's perfect." The group formed officially that afternoon. 2 members, Amy and Juliet. No instruments, no beats. Just voices, just words, just 10-year-old confidence that they could create something. Could be rappers, could be artists, could be sweet and sour. Neither had experience. Neither knew how rap groups actually worked. Neither understood industry, production, distribution, marketing. But neither cared. They had passion, had friendship, had absolute certainty that passion and friendship were enough, that everything else would figure itself out. Amy wrote first lyrics, influenced by Salt and Pepper, by TLC, by strong female voices in hip-hop. Words about friendship, about being young, about navigating school and family and growing up. Not deep, not profound, but genuine, real, 10-year-old perspective expressed honestly. "Listen to this," Amy said, reading from notebook. "We're sweet and sour, got the power, making noise every hour. We're the girls that you admire." Juliet laughed. "That's terrible." "I know, but it rhymes." "Barely? You write better then." Challenge accepted. Sweet and Sour wasn't just childhood game, was first collaboration. First time Amy created with someone else. First time she learned that making art with others requires compromise, requires listening, requires balancing your vision with someone else's. Lessons that would shape entire career. That would make Back to Black possible. That would make collaboration with Mark Ronson and Salaam Remi work. All started here, with Sweet and Sour, with Juliet, with learning that 2 voices together can create something neither voice could create alone. They practiced constantly, after school, weekends, whenever possible. Amy's bedroom became headquarters, became studio. Became creative laboratory where 2 10-year-olds experimented with words, with rhythm, with performance. No actual beats yet, just voices, clapping hands for rhythm, stomping feet for bass, making music from nothing, from enthusiasm, from absolute conviction that they were creating something real, something meaningful, something that mattered. Mitch heard them practicing, smiled, recognized something familiar. Same passion he felt for Sinatra, same conviction that music mattered. Different genre, different style, but same spirit, same drive, same understanding that making music is making meaning, is making connection, is making life richer. "What are you girls doing up there?" "Practicing," Amy yelled back. "Practicing what?" "Our rap group, Sweet and Sour." "You're what?" "We're rappers now," Mitch laughed. His jazz-loving, Sinatra-singing daughter was now rapper. Unexpected, but appropriate. Amy always did things her own way, always followed passion regardless of expectations, always created fearlessly. This was no different. Juliet brought different energy, more cautious, more careful, more concerned with what others thought. Good balance to Amy's boldness. Amy pushed forward, Juliet pulled back. Together, they found middle ground, found balance, found way to be creative without being reckless, to be bold without being foolish. "Amy, that lyric doesn't work." "Why not?" "Because it doesn't make sense." "It rhymes." "Rhyming isn't enough, has to mean something." "Fine, help me fix it." They'd work together, rewriting, refining, making lyrics better, making performance stronger, learning collaboration, learning compromise, learning that ego has to serve art, not other way around. Amy struggled with this initially. She had strong vision, strong opinions, strong sense of how things should be. Listening to someone else's ideas felt like diluting vision, felt like compromise was weakness. But Juliet taught her otherwise, taught her that collaboration makes art stronger, that two perspectives create depth one perspective can't achieve alone. "It's not your rap group," Juliet said during argument. "It's our rap group, sweet and sour, both of us, equal." Amy went quiet. "You're right, I'm sorry. What do you think we should do?" "Combine our ideas. Take best of both. Make something neither of us could make alone." "That sounds harder. That's why it's better." Sweet and Sour performed exactly once. School talent show, spring 1994, audience of students, teachers, parents. Amy and Juliet in matching outfits, baggy jeans, oversized shirts, backwards caps, looking ridiculous, looking exactly like 10-year-olds trying to be rappers, but committed, absolutely committed. They performed their best song, 3 minutes, choreographed movements, synchronized delivery. Everything practiced obsessively. Everything as professional as 10-year-olds could make it. Audience reaction, confusion mixed with amusement. These weren't real rappers, were children playing, but children playing with absolute seriousness, with total commitment, with genuine belief that they were creating art. That energy was infectious. That conviction was compelling. People laughed, but also applauded, appreciated courage, appreciated effort, appreciated two girls having absolute confidence to perform regardless of skill level. Amy loved it, loved stage, loved audience, loved feeling of creating something and sharing it. First taste of performance, first understanding that music isn't complete until shared, until presented, until audience responds. Addictive feeling, dangerous feeling, feeling that would drive everything that followed. Juliet felt differently, enjoyed creating, didn't enjoy performing, liked writing lyrics, didn't like being on stage. Understood immediately that Amy was performer. She wasn't. Amy belonged in spotlight. She belonged in shadow, supporting, creating, but not performing. After show, walking home. "You were great up there," Juliet said. "We were great." "No, you were great. I was just there." "Don't say that." "It's true. You belong on stage. I belong somewhere else. Writing maybe, supporting maybe, but not performing. So what does that mean for Sweet and Sour?" Juliet smiled sadly. Maybe Sweet and Sour had one perfect show. Maybe that's enough. The group disbanded shortly after. No dramatic breakup, no fight, just understanding that they wanted different things. Amy wanted stage, wanted audience, wanted performance. Juliet wanted creation without performance, wanted writing without spotlight. Different paths, different futures, different dreams. But friendship stayed, remained close, remained connected. Sweet and Sour ended. Amy and Juliet didn't. Understanding that artistic collaboration can end without friendship ending. That creative partnerships have natural lifespans. That sometimes best thing is knowing when to stop. When to move forward separately. When to celebrate what was without forcing what isn't. Amy learned crucial lesson. Not everyone wants spotlight. Not everyone thrives in performance. Some people create best in shadow, supporting, enabling, collaborating without competing. Juliet taught her this. Taught her to value people who create without needing recognition, who contribute without needing credit, who make art better without needing to be front and center. Years later, Amy would work with producers, Mark Ronson, Salaam Remi. Talented people who made her music better, who shaped her sound, who contributed enormously, but who let Amy be face, let Amy be voice, let Amy be focus. Amy understood how to value them because Juliet taught her that person in shadow is often reason person in spotlight shines. She stayed grateful, stayed humble about collaborations, knew she couldn't create alone, knew her best work came from working with others, knew that ego-driven isolation produces lesser art. That collaboration, real collaboration with compromise and respect, produces greatness. Sweet and Sour taught her this at 10 years old, in bedroom with best friend, creating terrible rap lyrics and learning that making art together is harder than making art alone. But better, always better. Sweet and Sour became family joke. Remember when Amy was rapper, Mitch would tease? Amy would laugh, not embarrassed, proud. Proud she tried, proud she created, proud she performed, proud she learned. Even if result was objectively terrible, even if rap career lasted exactly one performance. Even if Sweet and Sour is forgotten by everyone except family and Juliet. It mattered, it taught, it shaped. First collaboration, first compromise, first understanding that creating with others requires humility, requires listening, requires valuing others' contributions as much as your own. Without Sweet and Sour, maybe Amy doesn't learn this. Maybe she becomes solo artist who can't collaborate, who can't share creative space, who can't make Back to Black because she can't work with Ronson and Remy effectively. But she did learn. At 10, with Juliet, with terrible rap lyrics and one talent show performance. Learned that two voices together, when both voices listen, when both voices compromise, when both voices serve art instead of ego, create something neither voice could create alone. That's magic. That's collaboration. That's what makes great art great. Amy carried this forward. Every collaboration, every duet, every time she worked with producer or musician or songwriter, she remembered Sweet and Sour, remembered Juliet saying, "It's our group, not your group." Remembered learning to compromise, to listen, to value others' contributions, to serve art instead of ego. Made her better artist, better collaborator, better human. 10-year-old rap group taught lessons that shaped legendary career. That's beautiful. That's how growth works. Small moments creating foundation for future greatness. Childhood experiments teaching lifelong lessons. Sweet and Sour mattering not because it succeeded, because it taught, because it shaped, because it began something that would continue forever. Juliet watched Amy's career from distance. Proud, not jealous, not regretful. Grateful she played small role in beginning. That Sweet and Sour existed, that they created together, that Amy learned lessons she carried forward, that their brief collaboration mattered to someone who would matter to millions. They stayed friends, not close. Lives diverged, paths separated, but connection remained. Amy would reference Juliet in interviews. "My first collaboration was rap group with my friend Juliet. We were terrible, but I learned everything. Learned that making art with others is gift, is challenge, is opportunity to create something impossible alone." Juliet appreciated this, appreciated Amy remembering, appreciating Amy giving credit, appreciating Amy understanding that Sweet and Sour, ridiculous as it was, mattered, taught, shaped, created foundation for everything that followed. The notebooks survived. Amy kept them. Terrible lyrics, ridiculous rhymes, 10-year-old attempts at profundity, but precious. Reminders of beginning, of innocence, of time when creating music was pure joy, without pressure, without industry, without expectations. Just two friends in bedroom making something because making something is fun, is meaningful, is human. She'd read them sometimes. Later years, when music became complicated, when collaboration became difficult, when ego and pressure and expectation made creating feel like work instead of play. She'd remember Sweet and Sour, remember how easy it felt, how simple, how joyful. Remind herself that underneath everything, fame, pressure, industry, expectation, music is still just creating with people you care about, still just making something because making something matters. Those notebooks were compass, pointing back to beginning, to purity, to time before music became business, before art became commerce, before creating became performing not for joy, but for profit. Reminder that real music, great music, comes from place Sweet and Sour came from from passion, from friendship, from absolute conviction that creating matters more than succeeding. That process matters more than product. That joy of making something with someone you care about is point, is reward, is everything. When Amy struggled, when collaboration became difficult, when working with producers felt like fighting instead of creating, she'd think about Juliet, about Sweet and Sour, about 10-year-olds in bedroom compromising and listening and creating together, about how easy it felt when both people served art instead of ego, when both people valued partnership more than individual credit, when creating together was goal, not means to individual success, would reset her, would remind her, would bring her back to foundation, to understanding that collaboration is gift, is privilege, is opportunity to create something impossible alone. Sweet and Sour taught this at 10, with terrible rap lyrics, with one forgettable talent show performance, with partnership that lasted months but taught lessons that lasted lifetime. After Amy died, Juliet gave interview, rare interview, private person speaking publicly, about friendship, about Sweet and Sour, about beginning. Amy was always going to be star, Juliet said. Even at 10, even when we were terrible rappers, you could see it. The confidence, the passion, the absolute certainty that she belonged on stage. Sweet and Sour wasn't real rap group, was Amy's training ground, was where she learned she loved performing, loved audience, loved creating and sharing. I knew it then. She belonged to World. I was just lucky to be there at beginning. Interviewer asked about lessons from Sweet and Sour, about what Amy learned. She learned to listen, Juliet said. She was headstrong, is headstrong, had strong vision, strong opinions. Sweet and Sour taught her that strong vision is good, but listening to others makes vision stronger, makes art better, makes everything richer. She carried that forward. Every collaboration, every duet, every time she worked with someone, she listened, she compromised, she valued their contribution. Sweet and Sour taught her that. I taught her that. I'm proud of that. Do you miss her? Every day. But also, I'm grateful. Grateful we had Sweet and Sour. Grateful we created together. Grateful I played tiny role in shaping someone who shaped music. That matters. That's enough. That's everything. The legacy of Sweet and Sour isn't the music. Music was terrible, was forgettable, was exactly what you'd expect from 10-year-olds pretending to be rappers. Legacy is lessons, is foundation, is beginning of understanding that collaboration makes art better, that listening matters, that compromise isn't weakness, that serving art instead of ego produces greatness. Amy carried these lessons throughout career, made Back to Black possible, made working with Ronson possible, made collaborating with Bennett possible, made every great collaboration possible because she learned at 10 with Juliet, with Sweet and Sour, that creating together requires humility, requires respect, requires valuing partners' contribution as much as your own. That's legacy. That's what matters, not the terrible rap lyrics, not the one forgettable performance. The lessons, the foundation, the beginning, Sweet and Sour. 10-year-old rap group that lasted months but taught lifetime. That created nothing memorable but taught everything necessary. That failed as music but succeeded as education. That's real legacy. That's what lasts. That's what matters. Amy's bedroom still had notebook after she died, after family cleaned house, after everything was sorted and saved and decided. Notebook remained. Sweet and Sour lyrics, 10-year-old handwriting, terrible rhymes. Beautiful beginning. Mitch kept it, reads it sometimes, remembers 10-year-old Amy creating with Juliet, remembers them practicing, remembers talent show, remembers everything before everything became complicated, when music was still pure, still simple, still just two friends creating because creating is joy. He smiles reading terrible lyrics, knowing they mattered, knowing they taught, knowing Sweet and Sour, ridiculous name, ridiculous concept, ridiculous execution, was beginning of everything, was first step toward legend, was foundation upon which greatness was built, Sweet and Sour, terrible rap group. Beautiful Beginning, lasting legacy. At 14, Amy faced her first real controversy, a nose ring, a strict theater school, and conflicting stories about whether she was expelled or simply left. What really happened at Sylvia Young Theater School? And why does the founder insist Amy was never kicked out, even though the story became legend? Don't miss the next episode.